Roll call.
Mrs. Lavakia? Here. Ms. Clemens? Here. Ms. Allen?
Here.
Mr. Hendon?
Here.
Mr. Moran?
Here.
Ms. Konen? Here. Ms. Red?
Here.
Okay, we'll start with the Eva Jane O'Brien Coon Director's Report.
Okay, thank you. All right, so first up, we would like to welcome retired Judge Nadine Allen to the board. She's our newest appointment to the library board, and we have provided that information to the board and the public. But again, welcome. Your illustrious career is detailed here, and thank you very much for agreeing to serve.
And she was sworn in this morning at our special meeting.
Excellent, so now you're official. That's great, thank you. The next item here is our facilities planning to plan activities. As you all know, we've talked about these various Group 4 led activities, and we had those at the end of September down at the main library on the 26th. We held a public open house and a public forum as well as a staff meeting. We had a great turnout, a total of 536 community participants, more than 500 at the open house and 18 at the forum. And there were just over 100 staff at the meeting in the morning. So we were there to obtain some feedback, early feedback, to best plan for how we're going to re-envision our space at Main Library to serve our customers. At the staff meeting, staff members generated a list of ideas for the atrium space, and we're going to review those to figure out which are the most viable concepts and try some of them out while we plan for the best long-term utilization of the space in the atrium. On the next day, on the 27th, Group 4 led a meeting at Price Hill Rec Center. We had a meeting with the staff, a public open house, and again, a public forum. Really nice turnout, 51 participants and 30 at the open house, 20 at the meeting. So great start, and we'll give you some more information as we go through the planning, the atrium area. We've been doing a lot of legislative visits. As reported in the August meeting, we did an invite to our Hamilton County delegation of the General Assembly and asked them if they wanted to come and observe summer program in person. We extended another invitation just this fall if they wanted to come and look at some story time programs, and we have been fortunate enough to have several representatives say yes. We were over at Groesbeck on October 4th with House District 29 Representative Louis Blessing III. I will say that there's a great video of him doing some wheels on the bus and some wipers on the bus, and a couple of other representatives have asked us to send that video so that they can have that on hand next time they're doing a tight vote.
Blackmail.
And then, of course, Ohio 7th District Senator Steve Wilson attended a story time at Sims on this past Monday. And next Monday, District 28 Representative Jonathan Deaver is going to attend story time at Blue Ash. Oh, excuse me, that's tomorrow on Monday. A quick legislative update about House Bill 736, just to make you aware. This has officially been introduced, and it impacts certain political subdivisions with appointed boards and their ability to place tax levy issues on the ballot. So that would be nice. The Ohio Library Council will continue to monitor this legislation and keep us informed. I did have the opportunity
Who was that introduced by?
Representative Brinkman. And OLC says the specifics are a little bit unclear, so we are monitoring right now, but it appears to change the shall language in the Ohio Revised Code to may. I did, September 20th through the 21st, attend a meeting of selected library leaders for the Urban Library Council on a Partners for Middle School STEM initiative that was funded by the Institute for Museum and Library Services. That was great because my transportation and all of my expenses were covered by the IMLS grant. The discussion was explored how libraries and partner audiences approach STEM programs and our role as the library in providing STEM opportunities, strategy for building partnerships led by libraries, and evaluation. The discussions will then be used to inform the selection of pilot communities for focused library STEM programs and services with potential for selected libraries to receive some IMLS funding. So we're going to watch for that opportunity, and we may be here asking for the go-ahead to apply for some of those funds. I do also want to mention that we have open hours expansions at several of our branches. We've been talking about this for a few months, and we have increased 3 44 open hour a week branches to 48 hours. Those changes were at Avondale, Price Hill, and Walnut Hills. They included a small number of additional staff that are actually repurposed FTEs. and involve each location receiving a teen librarian position. The changes were implemented just effective October 7th, so that's very exciting, and we may be looking at moving a few more 44-hour locations to 48. Next, congratulations to Kathy Bach, who I think is in the audience. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
Kathy is the interim regional manager for Region 1, and she's also the permanent Delhi branch manager. She's been selected as the local arrangements chair for the 2019 Ohio Library Council Convention and Expo that will be held here next fall at Duke Energy Center. So thanks, Kathy.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We had the AUSC reception, that is the Association for Library Service to Children. It was held this year in Cincinnati, and we had a great reception on Friday, September 28th, after hours at the main library. More than 250 people attended. We received many positive comments, in particular praise about our makerspace, the Goldsmith collection that had been on display in the Children's Library, the Cincinnati Panorama, and of course, our Birds of America. We do have Sprout backpacks, and I think Stacy, our foundation director, has some samples for us. These are been purchased with a donation in support of 5 sets of 31 of these backpacks. They give parents and caregivers some easy to follow instructions and activities to make learning fun and easy. They're clear, you can see them there. They include picture books, educational games, toys, and activity guides. So they'll be available pretty soon, beginning November 5th at Avondale Forest Park, Groesbeck, Walnut Hills, and the Maine Children's Library. Thanks to Kim Alfender for making this resource available to our community through her donation. That is the end of my report here, but Molly has reminded me that when we did the resolution for Mrs. Trout at the end of the last meeting, we forgot to officially move and put it into the record. So what we need to do here before the end of my section is to get a motion and a second and get that recorded.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor, say aye. Okay, Facilities and Finance and Audit Committee.
Okay. The Facilities and Finance and Audit Committee met September 11th. Committee chair, that's me, and committee members Bob Hendon were in attendance. Board President Bill Moran, board members Elizabeth Lomacchia, Diane Cunningham Redding, and staff members Paul Hager, Beth Yoke, and Molly DeFosse were also in attendance. The Facilities and Finance and Audit Committee also met on September 24th. We have the same committee members in attendance, and Board President Bill Moran, Board Member Elizabeth Lomacchia, and staff members Paul Hager and Molly DeFosse were also in attendance. So it is the recommendation of the committee that the board take the following actions and approve the following resolution regarding acceptance of the tax levy amount and rate. Hamilton County Auditor Dusty Rhodes forward to all county fiscal officers the following resolution for acceptance of 2019 tax levy rates and amounts. The resolution is to be approved by a roll call vote and returned to the auditor before October 22nd. So here I'm going to read the resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Whereas this Board of Trustees of the Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County, in accordance with the provisions of law, has previously adopted a tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2019. And whereas the Budget Commission of Hamilton County, Ohio has certified its action thereon to this board together with an estimate by the county auditor of the rate of each tax necessary to be levied by this board, and what part thereof is without and what part within the 10 mil limitation. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in its certification be and the same are hereby accepted. And be it further resolved that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said joint district the rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitation as follows. I'm not going to read the chart. And be it further resolved that the clerk of this board be and is hereby directed to certify a copy of the resolution to the county auditor of Hamilton County. Talk about just keep going with the.
We can, that's the only action item. I mean, if you want to go ahead and.
Yeah, we can do.
Okay.
All right, so. You move, I move.
Okay.
Second? Is there a second?
Thank you.
Then we need a roll call, so Mrs. Lamapia?
Aye.
Ms. Clemens?
Aye.
Ms. Allen?
Aye.
Mr. Hendon?
Aye.
Mr. Moran?
Aye.
Ms. Conlon?
Aye.
Ms. Redden?
So this next item is for information only. And I'll start with the facility master plan. As discussed at the September 11th, 2018 special meeting, the library will be issuing a request for proposal for the completion of a facility master plan. The plan will include system-wide service model and analysis using community engagement tools, library user information, and demographic data, a community needs assessment, a facility assessment, community staff and stakeholder engagement process, recommendations based on outcomes from engagement process, service model, and community needs analysis in collaboration with PLCH and the Board of Trustees. Develop baseline schedule for implementation planning purposes. Facility master plan document, which compiles the above deliverables into a cohesive and comprehensive plan. Overall, the plan will provide the tool for the board to establish the order of priority of the facility's needs and improvements over the next several years, as discussed at the May 2018 meeting. For 2019, the library will continue working on the projects underway, which include the north building roof, the branch accessibility for Bryce Hill, Madisonville, and Walnut Hills, and the energy retrofit, which includes the boilers and air handlers and electrical in the south building. So a little information about the Price Hill branch. The library is contracted with FTC&H to complete a preliminary design comparing the option to renovate the current facility with a 6,000 square foot addition and the construction of a new 12,000 foot square building. FTC&H will also determine the maximum square footage along with the parking that the lot will accommodate. Library service for the Price Hill community utilizing the temporary location at the Price Hill Recreation Center at 959 Hawthorne Avenue is planned to continue through June 1st, 2019, based on a proposed agreement with the Cincinnati Recreation Commission. The agreement is in the review process and provides for a monthly rental fee of $2,250. The temporary branch is offering limited library service, including circulation, activities, and computer access. In September, a laptop kiosk dispenser was added to the lobby area of the center, which significantly increased computer accessibility for customers. A note about the Walnut Hill branch. Walnut Hills branch was closed temporarily on August 24, 2018 as a result of the discovery of mold in one section of the basement level of the branch. The first floor of the branch, where all but the meeting room and public restrooms are located, tested within the normal range. The remediated work has been completed. The branch reopened September 24, 2018. We continue to experience water leaking into the basement. We have closed off one of the restrooms where water was leaking and are operating with one restroom. The property is being evaluated by an engineer to determine options for eliminating the water issues outside of the scope of the accessibility project. Flooding at the main library. The main library south building experienced some flooding during the storms that passed through at the end of the workday on September 5th. The flooding affected the Nolan room and rooms 3A and 3B on the third floor, and C stack and D stack of the south building. The damaged materials have been dried in materials retrieval. The flooring in the Nolan room and the rooms 3A and 3B will need to be replaced. Facility staff worked with the contractor to install an overflow pipe draining into the reading garden to prevent the situation from reoccurring. It is suspected that deteriorating pipes resulted in a clog leading to the water backup. Facility staff is continuing to work on the issue. 2018 main roof, the main library roof in north building. The board approved the public bidding of this project at the August meeting. Subsequent to publishing the advertisement and the initial spec, the architect discovered that the current building code required a more complex roof than originally thought. The estimate for this roof is substantially more expensive than what was included in the original bid ad. After consulting with the prosecutor's office, we canceled the current request for bids and will postpone the project until early 2019. Energy Retrofit 3. The library is currently working with Moats Engineering to determine the scope of the Energy Retrofit 3 project. Moats has completed an analysis of the current safety, heating, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing system in all three buildings at Main. The committee directed staff to move forward with the most urgent work that needs to be done. The current estimate for the base construction and design fees for this work is approximately $6,043,250. The intent is to bid this work in 3 bid ads. The electrical work and the boiler and air handling equipment will be separate bids to be approved in December, and the installation of the boiler and air handling equipment bid ad will be approved in February. Property purchase in Norwood. The library has initiated a non-binding letter of intent to purchase property at 2039 Wire Avenue in Norwood. The property is a parking lot adjacent to the Norwood Branch parking lot. The acquisition of this property will facilitate the library's plan to make the branch fully accessible. Any decision to purchase property will be approved by the board. Ohio Checkbook. The Ohio Checkbook is an initiative of the State Treasurer's Office. According to their website, the tool empowers the taxpayers to follow their money and hold public officials accountable. Currently, there are a few libraries on the site, and almost all of them are smaller libraries. There is an investment of staff time to create and maintain the necessary reports to populate the database. The committee has directed staff to continue to review the process as well as viable options for transparency and report back in 2019.
Okay, thank you. Fiscal officer's report.
On September 6, 2018, there was a theft of a laptop from the main library valued at $709.80. Our police report has been filed. I request a release of personal liability related to the theft of this item. And the other 2 items are in February 2018, we reported the library had been named as a defendant in a complaint filed by an individual who alleged an injury from a parking lot gate in the north parking lot. That has been resolved. The matter was settled last week, and the library has not acknowledged any responsibility in the incident. And then in August, we also reported that we were named as a defendant in another complaint with a slip and fall at the Forest Park branch. And as soon as we filed our motion to dismiss, the individual also voluntarily dismissed it. So that's covered.
We'll need a motion to approve that report.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Human Resources Committee report.
Okay, under the core group benefits, we are recommending that the premium cost share should remain the same for the medical benefit plan. That is employee 16% and employer 84%. And with the dental plan, employee 35% and the employer 65%. In addition, we recommend that the library continue to contribute 25% prorated as necessary towards the deductible into the employee's health savings account. There will be no increase in benefit premiums for 2019, and the actual contribution rates will be communicated to the staff on Monday, October 15th. The benefits open enrollment plan begins the following week on October 29, 2018, and that we have to vote on. For information only, we have a staff and retiree recognition program on Sunday, November the 4th. The library will host, this is the 6th annual staff program, and we will recognize staff members who have received a milestone for years of services, and the retirees who have dedicated their time and energy to make the library successful. The recipient of the Impact Award, the Bunny Dana Prize, and the Rookie of the Year Award will also be announced. And it will be held in the atrium from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And everybody, the board, staff, retirees, family, and friends are invited. And in the afternoon of November the 4th, we will be holding our volunteer appreciation event, and that will take place in the Tower Room from 2 p.m. to 3:30 with a brief program commencing at 2:30 p.m. And at that, dessert and beverages will be provided. The United in Sharing campaign started September 24th and will end October 21st. And as part of the staff engagement and to launch the United in Sharing campaign, we invited donations of school supplies for school-age children. We collected over 3,600 items ranging from glue sticks to Kleenex. And on September 20th, the managers put together the drawstring backpack supplies for the kids, and over 220 bags were stocked with school supply items and will be donated to the Cincinnati Public Schools, who will distribute them to school children who will have participated in the sports camps that are held throughout the year. So I move that we accept the core group benefits.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Library Experience Committee?
Yes.
Diane?
Library experience, the Harrison Branch Manager, Michelle Elliott. Michelle Elliott completed her MLS at the University of Kentucky in 2001 and received her BS from the University of Cincinnati. She joined our library in 1989, serving as a shelver at the Norwood Branch. Over the next 29 years, she served in various roles at the Parkdale, Madisonville, and Corderville branches, and in the Interlibrary Loan Department. She joined the Harrison team as the Senior Children's Librarian in 2005, and was promoted to her current role as Senior Branch Manager in February of 2013. Michelle is a 2013 graduate of the Tomorrow's Manager Program and a 2015 graduate of Management Academy. Memory Cafe Pilot Program.
Michelle, you gonna give a presentation?
It's mine. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks for hosting us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's been fun. Thank you for the opportunity. So we are a pilot location for the Memory Cafe. And Memory Cafes have been around for years, and they began in the Netherlands, and then they went across Europe, and then they came to the United States. But we haven't had any in our area. The Memory Cafe is essentially providing a welcoming space for an individual with Alzheimer's or any other kind of dementia or cognitive impairment, and their care partners to have a shared experience that is not focused primarily on care. So, it's a time for respite for both parties and an opportunity to be around others who are in similar situations. We offer ours on the second Tuesday of the month in the morning. Memory Cafes are not intended to be a support group. It's primarily for the respite and to have a shared enjoyable experience. Libraries are a natural location to host a Memory Cafe because we already are a part of the community. And typically, we have space for the events, and we have easy access into the buildings, and we have ample parking. Harrison, as you know, has all of those things. We have partnered with the Alzheimer's Association, and they have had a representative at each one of our cafes so far. And we have also partnered with Episcopal Retirement Services, and they are providing educational support and training. We began offering the cafe in June, and each cafe begins with a time for socialization and building community, and then we move into an activity. So the activity changes from month to month. So far, we have had presentations on quilting. We've had the Cincinnati Museum Center come and do one on the history of television in Cincinnati. We've had a therapy dog come. We've had coloring, and just on Tuesday, we played the game Left, Right, Center. And so what was interesting for me to learn on Tuesday is that, obviously the Memory Cafes are open to the public, anybody can come, and so there's a wide range of abilities, and we have a lady who's 97 years old, and she's in a wheelchair, and she's hard of hearing, and she comes with her daughter, and she's been to every month. And so when we played Left, Right, Center, it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with it, you roll the dice and you give a chip, and and so there's not a lot of conversation. I mean, we were conversing, but typically when Dot is here, her daughter has to sort of like look straight into her face and tell her what somebody has said, or try to express what the presentation is about. But Dot was just loving Left, Right, Center. She had the dice and she's rolling it. I was like, you've been to Vegas, obviously. It was pretty fun. So it's nice to have a range because different people will get different things out of the experience. Next month, we're going to have someone from a local gym is going to do a functional aging program. So I'm looking forward to that. And in December,
Maybe some of us need that.
in December, the Museum Center is going to return and do winter holiday traditions. Our attendance fluctuates from month to month. So to date, our highest attendance was 20, but typically it's like 8 to 10. We have had several families that come monthly, and it's been really rewarding to see the relationships develop between, you know, the different folks that are coming, and with me, like I'm getting to know each of them, and that's really cool too. The library is expanding the Memory Cafe to 2 other locations. In fact, on Monday, the Blue Ash Library will host their first one, and then Green Hills Ranch will host their first cafe on Thursday, November the 1st. I am very, very proud that the Harrison Library was selected to be the pilot for the Memory Cafe. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, so I have personal experience with the disease. I know that it affects not only just the individual, but it affects the whole family. And so it's been very rewarding to be able to do this. I know that we're greatly impacting the lives of the people that come. And so I'm really excited that it's expanding and more people will be able to do it. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Michelle, did on your quilting presentation, did Barb Meyer do that?
No, actually Bob Drew did. I hear you're related to.
She's my cousin.
Yeah.
And her son is the mayor of Harrison.
Exciting, local connection. Yeah, Bob from Outreach did it. He did an outstanding job. He brought some quilts that were his mother's, and they loved that one. And a lot of people were sort of like, oh, quilting, you know, they didn't think they'd be interested in it, but it was one of the best ones.
Great. Great job.
Yeah, fantastic.
Everybody loves your branch.
Thank you. I do too.
Moving on.
Mhm.
Staff member Aaliyah Jones chosen to participate as a member of the Caldecott Award Selection Committee. Aaliyah Jones, Madisonville Branch, has been chosen to participate on the Caldecott Award Selection Committee 2020 Award. The Caldecott Medal is given annually by the Association for Library Science to Children, a division of the American Library Association, to the artist of the most distinguished American picture book for children. The Caldecott Selection Committee is a diverse group from around the country, chosen due to their deep knowledge and appreciation for children's literature. Being selected to serve this committee is a very rare and significant opportunity for both Aaliyah and her library. Library Science Grant Agreement for Phase 2 of NASA At My Library project. Our library, which was chosen as one of 75 libraries among 513 applicants to participate in the NASA At My Library initiative, signed a grant agreement for Phase 2 of the nationwide project. We will receive funding, a telescope, and programming material to support NASA and space-themed events at the library. Groesbeck Library and 4C for Children partnered to reach Step Up to Quality requirements. Step Up to Quality, SUTQ, a 5-star quality rating system administered by the Ohio Department of Education and the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, recognizes and promotes learning and development programs that meet quality standards and licensing and safety regulations for daycares. Daycares not meeting requirements are not eligible to receive voucher money from the state, which could lead to closures or facilities no longer permitted to accept vouchers. As a result, a number of children throughout Southwest Ohio would not have access to voucher-assisted daycare. 4C for Children in the library have partnered to provide a series of enrollment assistance sessions at the Groesbeck Branch Library to support daycare providers in their efforts to meet SUTQ requirements by the 2019 deadline. Library to pilot home delivery service. The library will launch a pilot home delivery service allowing Hamilton County residents to have materials checked out to their library account and mailed to their home. Most circulating items in the library's collection will be eligible, and there will be a cost passed on to the customer to cover postage. The pilot will run from November 2018 through January 2019. Following this pilot, the service will be evaluated for viability. Clifton Town Meeting and Clifton Community Fund gift. We are moving forward with an outdoor seating area at the Clifton branch, made possible by a donation. The Clifton Town Meeting and Clifton Community Fund proposed adding concrete benches similar to the previous bench that had been gifted, and a table which includes a map of Clifton. Library staff is working with the 2 partner organizations to finalize details. Partnership to narrow health gap. The University of Cincinnati's Health Sciences Library received an outreach award from the National Network of Libraries in Medicine for their project to narrow the health gap in Cincinnati. The library will be partnering with these organizations on the project
which includes the installation of an informational kiosk allowing customers to connect to multiple consumer health databases, as well as an automated blood pressure, heart rate monitoring kiosk, both in the information and reference department. The kiosks will be installed for 6 months with the possibility of extending that time frame. The project includes the potential for health-related programming at the library, courtesy of the partner organizations. Staff member presentations at recent Ohio Library Council Convention. A group of 12 staff members participated in the Ohio Library Annual Convention and Expo held October 3rd through 5th in Sandusky, including Carl Allison Jr. and Kyla Hardin, Human Resources, and Kayla Bergen, Avondale Branch. Staff team formed to review internal emergency resources. In response to the September 6th tragedy in downtown Cincinnati, a task force of staff members will be reviewing the library's internal emergency resources to ensure that they are current and comprehensive. The team will review the internal emergency notification system and building evacuation procedures, along with the potential ALICE training tactics. On October 3rd, a group of staff members attended the active shooter and safety presentation hosted by the Cincinnati Police Department's Central Business Section in cooperation with Downtown Cincinnati, Inc. Upcoming events and exhibits. An evening with Ron Chernow. As reported to the board in May, Pulitzer Prize and National Book Award winning historian Ron Chernow will visit the Aronoff Center for the Arts on Monday, October 15th at 7 p.m. to discuss his newest book, Grant. Tickets will go on sale August 15th and cost $5. A pre-show VIP reception will be held, and VIP tickets will cost $100. NASA at My Library Space Day. Customers of all ages were invited to tour the universe through virtual reality, view the sun through a telescope, and enjoy hands-on crafts and activities at the main library on August 25th. The library partnered with the Cincinnati Observatory on this event, which is part of the NASA at My Library grant initiative. 64th Annual Veterans Day Commemoration. The 64th Annual Veterans Day Commemoration will take place at the main library on Monday, November 12th at 10:45 a.m. This year will feature keynote remarks from WDBZ 1230 Lincoln Ware Show radio host Lincoln Ware. Mr. Ware, a Cincinnati native and graduate of Woodward High School, enlisted in the United States Marine Corps and was a member of the Armed Services Radio and Television Service. He officially began his radio career in 1973 and has received local and national honors for his work.
Thank you. Strategy and Technology Committee, Karen?
Workforce development. A key area of focus under the services section of the library's strategic plan is workforce development. The marketing department is creating a logo so the library can feature all its workforce development services and resources via an easily identifiable brand, with the goal of increasing awareness of what's available to job seekers, underemployed individuals, and those looking to advance their career. In addition, through a partnership with Ohio Means Jobs, the library is once again offering a series of resume writing workshops, as well as one-on-one support for job seekers. Early this winter, the library will implement a second round of workshops in partnership with Cincinnati Works aimed at helping underemployed moms level up their job skills. Pop-up preschool pilot expands to 2 locations. In partnership with the YMCA of Greater Cincinnati, the library is again offering pop-up preschool at the Deer Park branch and has now expanded to include the St. Bernard branch. Enrollment was very successful, and the 22 students enrolled are consistently attending each session. The last 30 minutes of each class involves parents and students engaged in learning together from YMCA early childhood educators so that the education can continue at home. Right-click presentation. On November 16th, Bill Lane and Kim McClanahan from our Information Technology Department will present Increasing Positive Staff Perception through IT Performance and Customer Service Improvements at the Ohio Library Council's Right-Click 2018 Library IT Exchange Conference in Columbus, Ohio. They will review the changes made leading up to our initial 2017 Staff IT Perception Survey, internal customer service improvements as a result of the survey, and the positive results. Office 365 implementation. Migrating all staff to Office 365 ensures we stay up to date and have continued support from Microsoft. Office 365 offers advanced tools for unified and standardized communication and collaboration. These tools can be used across many different devices such as PCs, laptops, tablets, and cell phones. This initial migration of accounts is expected to be completed by the end of the year.
Thank you. So we have a number of consent agenda items and ask for a motion to approve them.
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there any public comments? Anybody sign up for public comments? Okay. Well, before I adjourn the meeting, I'd like to say with the help of our library consultant, June Garcia, thank you so much for all you put in, and Carl, Allison, thank you. The board has chosen and unanimously approved the appointment of Paula Bremheger. It was a very condensed process, and we interviewed, we had 15 resumes that we went over. We chose 5 people to interview by Skype, and we chose 3 people to come to Cincinnati to interview, including Paula, and one of them recused himself for personal reasons, but we had a very good candidate. Paula checked all the boxes, and I want to congratulate you.
Thank you very much, I really appreciate it.
The employees will be informed tomorrow morning, and the press release will go out after that, so.
So don't tell anyone, I'm just kidding.
So our next meeting is December 11th at 4:30, and it'll be held in the main library, and with that, we're adjourned.
Thank you.